You are watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to another episode of OverAnalyzing, a series where I take a more in-depth look at the fictional universes which I love. Today I'll be talking about the worst Death Note character. Death Note is one of my favorite anime series, and it was actually the series that got me into anime. While it's true I'd seen things like Dragon Ball and Pokemon before, Death Note was the first one that I got really into. And most of the characters in Death Note are really good. There's a couple of them that I don't like so much, and this video might be a little bit controversial. For the simple fact that when most people think of the worst character, a lot of them are going to think of Nier. And frankly, I don't hate Nier. I don't really like him, but I don't hate him. I'd say Nier is my second least favorite character, just because he's just a straight copy of L, but he's not that bad of a character, he's just not that great and not that special. Another slightly controversial thing, though, is I actually like Mello a hell of a lot better than Nier. I actually think Mello is a good character and well written. Just because he's a nice contrast to Nier's straight-edge way of investigating things, I actually really like Mello. But that's beside the point. Today I'm going to be talking about a character in Death Note that I cannot stand. And that character is Misa Amane. So let me start off by saying that as the series progresses, Misa does get a little bit more bearable as a character, but overall I just didn't like her. See, Light was a great character and was very well written, and he had his own set of morals. And while I don't necessarily agree with everything he stood for, he at least stood for something. And I was rooting for him for a lot of the series. I think towards the end he kind of went a little too far in a lot of areas, and like I said, I don't agree fundamentally with everything he did, but I never thought of him as evil. And in truth, part of me wanted him to win in the end, especially since I did think he was a great character. Part of what pissed me off as well is that it wasn't L that defeated Light, but it was Nier and Mello. I think if Light was going to lose, he should have lost to L, but that's neither here nor there. As it stands, Death Note has a pretty good ending, and I'm not talking about those characters today. But needless to say, since I was rooting for Light to win for most of the series, Misa had to go and fuck it all up. She's just an annoyance there, basically to be a major conflict for Light to resolve. And in that respect, she's a well-written character. But as a person, God does she drive me nuts. She's whiny, she's manipulative, and she's just a hassle. If it wasn't for her, Light would have never gotten caught, and I can stand by that 100%. Because she would have never gotten caught, and he would have never had to go in and do all that stuff with forgetting the Death Note and everything. As I said, she does become a slightly better character as the series progresses, but for the most part, she's really annoying. Misa herself isn't the worst character in all of anime history, but she just annoys me as a character in the Death Note universe. She's loud, she's annoying, and she's constantly fucking things up. She's also not very bright. I don't necessarily hate Misa. I just think she's definitely the worst Death Note character. Like I said, Nier is a close second, but Misa's pretty bad. She does have a few funny moments here in the show. Her being a fashion model really made her less relatable, I think, too. Just because normal people aren't going to have those fashion model experiences. To be fair, normal people don't get to kill people by writing their name in a notebook, but you get my point. And as a contrast to the intelligent characters that you get of Light, L, Nier, and even Mello, Misa's kind of stupid. I'd say she's stupider than Matsuda, and I like Matsuda. Matsuda is actually one of my favorite characters in Death Note. Misa is stupider than him, though, and that says something. Anyway, that's all I really have to say about Misa Amane. This has been Fugitive Red Eye. Do let me know what you thought of this episode of OverAnalyzing down in the comments below. And if you have suggestions for future episodes, I'm always willing to hear it. And you have a great rest of the day.